peace in Palestine.
And one of the interesting things, I don't know if Eric Weinstein has ever said this on your show, but he made a very good point. We were just having a conversation over dinner the other day, which is a lot of the time we're told that, like, well, we've got to import the slave class, basically people who are going to work for peanuts, because otherwise no one's going to do these jobs. We've got labor shortages, right? And he went, you can't have a labor shortage in a market economy. It's not possible.
How so?
The way the market works is if there's a shortage of something, what happens? The price of that thing goes up until there's a sufficient supply of that thing.
Yep.
Not demand. Well, demand comes back down and supply goes back up, right? So if the way he illustrated this point might be a bit extreme, but he said, at the right price, I will come to your house and lick your toilet clean with my own tongue, right? And there is a price point at which most people will do that.
Yep.
So the point being is this idea that we have to have all of these people who are effectively being used as slave labor come in to do these jobs. It's a way of effectively depriving British people of the opportunity to be well paid for doing that job.
That don't make no sense.
Okay, this is laughable. Now, I've got a master's degree in economics. Effectively, he's just said is in business, in order to get something done, whatever the price is, you can potentially find somebody to do that job. So say from his example, for somebody to lick your toilet, if that was going to cost 2 billion, would you do it? Well, I guess technically there's going to be somebody out there who will do it, but really what he's proving is that the price would be so high that it would never happen. And if you rewind that back to the point I think he was trying to make, that the existing British population can do the work, and even if you had to pay them a higher wage to do that job, you would do it. But that's not economics, and it's also not common sense. If we're going to get economical, let's just say the supply curve of labour is relatively elastic. Which effectively means that if the price to lick somebody's toilet is right about there at 2 billion, if the line for supply is there, it's so far above supply that guess what? That means it will never happen. So he doesn't understand economics, he does not understand the logic of business, and he's actually proved the point that there's a wage that British people will never work for because they've priced themselves out of the market, but he's expressed it in exactly the opposite way, which coincidentally is exactly the wrong way. Let's get away from the toilet example. Let's say you got farmers and you need people to come in and toil in the land. And now the British people are long past doing that. So you get other people, they come in and they work on the farms and they're happy to do it. And otherwise that work would not get done. That is why you get people in. So that's at a very low level. And with the NHS, you may need doctors, you may need nurses, you may need whatever you need to come into the country. If you can't produce it domestically, you're at liberty to source that labour from anywhere in the world. That is the nature of a modern economy, and it only makes absolute sense. You know the drill. The full video that I've just talked about is going to be round about here towards the bottom of the screen if you're on a mobile. Otherwise, the link's going to be in the description or the comments.